So the new update is coming out in a few days on Tuesday, and we're getting a Maggie and Seer buff. And last night, along with the patch notes, Respawn actually released a bit of gameplay of both of these updates. And let me tell you, Seer looks really good, but honestly, Mad Maggie's Wrecking Ball is receiving quite a heavy update because I compared it to the current build of Apex. But first, Respawn gave us a better look at the Seer changes. First of all, they give us a brand new look at his new updated passive, where it has a longer view, and also there's only one heartbeat instead of different heartbeats. So this is what it looks like.
We improved the clarity of his passive, making it easier for you to know how far away enemies are from where you're aiming.
And when this is compared to the current version of Apex, it definitely seems like the updated passive is a bit less overwhelming, and I think behind the scenes, it's a bit more reliable because Respawn said they improved the visibility of this passive. Over to his tactical though, there's some pretty cool changes. First of all, Respawn did show us gameplay of how quickly it deploys now when you're holding a weapon. So on the right is the updated version of Seer's tactical, and on the left is the current version of Seer's tactical. You can definitely see that there is a speed difference. Not massive, but in those really tight moments where you need to scan somebody, it probably will make a difference. Also, Respawn showed us that when Seer hits an enemy with his updated tactical, he will now get the Bangalore passive speed boost, which once again is a really nice thing, and a bit more movement in Apex. Doesn't really hurt anybody. Respawn do say this is balanced out by a reduced silence duration, which to be honest, the Seer silence was very frustrating, and now that more people are definitely going to be playing him, I think it is for the best that the silence duration is reduced, because silence is nothing but frustrating, to be completely honest with you. There is another nerf to the Seer tactical that Respawn did to balance it. Now it takes longer for the tactical to activate once it is shut off. To properly demonstrate how this works once again, here is a comparison between the updated one and the current one. I think this is the right place for Seer's tactical, a quick deployment but also not too oppressive. I don't think that the tactical is directly buffed to be more powerful, but I think it's going to suit different and wider playstyles. Although one aspect of Seer's kit that has had a massive buff, and luckily Respawn gave us gameplay of, is his ultimate. Respawn have already said that they've drastically increased the throw distance of his ultimate from 15 meters in the current build to 50 meters in the updated build, and you can see a demonstration of how far Seer can throw this thing now. This is going to be absolutely huge for pushing onto fights, because now you'll be able to throw your ult preemptively instead of kind of having to push into the fight zone to then deploy your ult. It's definitely going to be very useful. And that's not the only change on the ult. Respawn did confirm that when they said Seer gets enhanced jumping in his ultimate on the patch notes, this actually meant Seer gets enhanced double jumping. So it is now officially confirmed that he does get double jumping and also ADS hover, which is from Titanfall but was also very temporarily implemented into Apex a few months ago. We did also get some new gameplay of the threat indicator, as Respawn did confirm that they added a threat indicator to the Seer ult. So if you are trying to hunt down the Seer ult to destroy it because you're trapped inside, within 15 meters of the core of the Seer ult, you will get a threat indicator so you can better track it down, which is good, especially if you're in an interior and you can't get a relative approximation of where this ult is. Also, this might encourage actual strategic ult placement. Also, Respawn did confirm and show that the split focus upgrade for Seer, which allowed him to have 2 tactical charges, now has no downside or catch. You literally just get 2 tac charges, which is absolutely great. That is not the only gameplay Respawn showed us. They also showed us some Maggie gameplay, which is great because a big part of Maggie's buff is the fact that they made her ultimate ball more reliable and also gave it the ability to climb over some objects, which isn't really demonstrated well in a set of patch notes which are literally just words. So luckily Respawn gave us a bit of gameplay which I can actually compare to the current build. So here Respawn demonstrate her ultimate going off over at caustic treatment, and you can actually see that the ball bounces over this tank here and then bounces over a truck and then it hits the wall, which I'm sure you can guess with the current version of Maggie's ultimate it's not able to do this. It just crashes straight into the tank and then bounces wherever it wants to go. It's not particularly reliable. And you may say that, well, you've got to throw the ball over the tank. Well, I tried to do that, I pointed up, it did not work. So it's clear that the Maggie's ball almost has a brain of its own, because it looks like it's able to predict when there's going to be an obstacle and do an extra big jump to get over this obstacle. It's actually pretty interesting. It's like it now has its own artificial intelligence. And also when Respawn demonstrate this, they do also show us Maggie chasing the ball, and it does show on screen that she is equipped with the fortified buff. And if you're not aware what the fortified buff is, essentially it allows your legend to take less damage. The damage reduction is 15%, but there's a catch. Legends who already have the fortified buff as their passive will not receive this buff, because obviously it will stack and it might be a bit too unfair. So this won't count on the big boys, Caustic, Gibraltar and Newcastle, so do be aware. Otherwise, it's pretty crazy to get a damage reduction from simply following her ball. I guess it does put it in line with the Pathfinder zipline, where now if you ride it, you do receive less damage. Also, Respawn did demonstrate the new upgrade coming to Maggie on her blue upgrades called Gun Running, where it essentially expands her shotgun passive, where you get full sprint speed when holding a shotgun, to SMGs and pistols, which is pretty solid, and you do get a user interface icon when you do this, so you are aware that this upgrade is active. Keeping on her upgrades, Respawn also let us know what the changes were to her Fireball upgrade. Now the Fireball upgrade will drop patches of magma as it rolls, which I'm pretty sure just means it's going to drop lines of thermite as it rolls instead of just dropping 2 lines of thermite at the end of the roll. As right now, if you have this upgrade, the only change is that it'll drop a giant thermite X at the end, but now with the new upgrade, it seems it will slowly drop thermite as it goes, which will definitely make this upgrade a lot more powerful. And also this upgrade will now reduce fire damage to Maggie, so she can still follow her wrecking ball when it is dropping these lines of fire. Now, once again, I will repeat, this update is coming out on Tuesday, it's not out yet. Also, Respawn have been hard at work besides this update to keep patching the game, as they have posted so many little changes to Twitter, it's kind of hard to keep up with, so why not cover them all here? First, last night they said, "Hey Legends, we are aware of Apex crashing on Steam when connected to the Steam overlay, and the team is investigating. The current recommended workaround is to avoid using the Steam overlay, like using Alt-Tab instead." So Steam users will know what's going on there. In another tweet, they did announce that they had pushed some fixes to some issues where people would get a crash surrounding sh_challenges, which is pretty good because I did personally see a few people complaining about this one specifically. Another thing they tweeted about, which I was also a victim of, which I was pretty confused about, was the fact that people were finding out when they logged onto Apex, they had new messages and they received loads of new gifts. The weird thing is, these gifts were gifts they had already received, which caused some confusion. Had Respawn been taking stuff out of our inventory and only just giving it back? Well, no. They said, recently, an issue caused some notifications to be sent in an error. There are no impacts to your inventory. Also, another thing I didn't cover is over a week ago, them pushing a fix to the ring, where they said, "We've just released an Apex update to fix an issue with ring movement in the final round. Those of you who make it to final ring will notice that they'll pull towards the previous ring center more consistently." So basically, they just improved ring consistently and also roasted everybody. Honestly though, at this point, I just want to fast forward to Tuesday to try out that enhanced Seer double jump and ADS hover, because I feel like there might be some potential over there, especially considering the fact that the last time ADS hover was in Apex, it had to be removed because people were glitching it for some crazy movement. Hey, maybe we might find some crazy movement with an update. I guess you'll just have to subscribe to find out.